right, welcome. I am so excited for tonight's call. It's going to look a little different than some of the other calls that we do. And in fact, I have a friend on here tonight. I might have a few female entrepreneur friends, business-minded women that are going to be joining us tonight. So know if you see some unfamiliar names and faces, it's because they're close friends of mine that I've invited to find some clarity in 2025. And I'm really excited to get started. So if you haven't, put your first and last name into the chat box so that I can take attendance later on, so I can invite y'all to next year's class. This is something that I have been doing for 10 years. Since I started my pawTree business, since I stepped into the entrepreneurial space, this is a very important time of year for me to be able to kind of give gratitude to what is in the past and to be able to move forward with clarity, knowing what and where I want to go. And we'll talk at the very end. We're going to wrap this up because you guys are going to move. Your heads are going to have to be forced to be creative and thoughtful tonight in order for you to be able to have headlights on your future. And that's kind of where it started this year. All of you guys that know me know that I am an avid Jeeper, an outdoorsman. And if you don't have a calendar, you don't have to go by this one. This one's just a Jeep one. But I run off of a paper calendar, and everything I have on a paper calendar, I move into my digital calendar every single year. This one's specifically designed for Jeeping. I have some Jeeping goals, so I'm going to instill those into next year. But this kind of happened. I'm going to tell a story that was really from last year. But last year, it would have been December of last year. We were up in Park City, and Park City here is a high elevation mountainous area. And I had taken my son's cowboy hat shopping. It's what they wanted for Christmas. I went and decided to get him some custom cowboy hats. And it was really fun because my family ended up coming up. We ended up celebrating. It was snowing. I mean, it was like the perfect day. And what I realized in that moment, driving home at night, was the snow was so bad. We were coming down the canyon. It's a horrible canyon. It can be scary. It's icy. You never know what's going to happen. And I remember that the only thing that we had control of was as far as our headlights could reach. And we'd go as far as our headlights would reach. And then we would go an additional as far as our headlights would reach. And I kind of was sitting there as my son was driving us home. And I was kind of like, oh my gosh, this kind of reminds me of life. We all have these huge, giant goals. We all have these things that we want to do, whether it's personal life, business, finance, and health. But the realistic ability for people to do this is very slim. Most people drop their goals in February. Usually they're gung-ho, we get ready, we're super excited about life, we get going, we have them all written down, they're pasted where we can see them every day, and boom, 30 days later, we're already off track. And with what we're going to do today is we're going to give all the love and gratitude that we possibly can to 2024. And we're going to step into 2025 with a big deep breath. And we're only going to go as far as our headlights will take us. And with this being said, I don't think that there's anybody that really is going to wake up January 1st and have life be completely different, right? Does anybody ever feel that way come the end of the year? It's December 31st. You're kicking off the new year. You're like, yes, life is going to be different tomorrow. And then you wake up and you realize it's just a new day, same shit. That's the reality of kind of where we are, right? And so it's not like you're going to do that. But I will tell you that I pray every day. I pray every day and I ask Spirit. And my wish to the universe, forgive my language, is to calm her tits in 2025. Because man, I'll tell you what, I have had enough. I've had enough of everyday things hitting me. I am tired of the grief slapping me in the face. I am tired of my water pipes breaking. I am tired of the judgment, the shame that my brain brings to me. And I am just over it. And every year that I tend to do this, I go back and I do a year-end review. And in the past, when I've done this, I'm like, wow, I accomplished this and I accomplished that. I think it was 2021 was my biggest accomplished goal. Not business related, but I wanted to feel good naked. It was a big goal of mine, and that's what I focused on all year. And lo and behold, my health improved significantly that year, and it made a huge difference. And so it doesn't matter if this is business or life that we go through tonight. What I really want you to focus on is how you're going to consistently build daily habits in order to achieve the goals that you put down. And we're going to really kind of nail this out tonight. So first and foremost, I want to make sure everybody has water and a notebook. And if you can turn your camera on, I would love to have your camera on. I love to see your faces. It's like talking to a wall. I want to see those deer in the headlight looks. And so remember that. So is everybody ready to get started? Comment 2025 if you are ready and have everything you need to get started. We got lots of them coming in. All right. This first section is I want to bring you guys into gratitude. We cannot have judgments, shame, guilt, hurt, pain, sorrow, or anger when it comes from a place of gratitude. At the end of the day, we're going to set all of our egos aside. We're going to set everything that has been happening in our lives, everything that's kind of halted us, and we're going to put that aside for this evening. And tonight on this call is a very safe place. There is several of us on here that want to create it. And I would love for you guys to chat and comment and type things into the chat box. And if you're just like, you know what, I need to say this, come off mute. I want to hear about it, because it's really important that we all come from a place of love and vulnerability when creating this, because this is your life, your journey, and your choices. So keep that in mind. But the first thing we're going to start with is gratitude. So on your first page, I want you to write gratitude at the very top of it. Because in order for us to really find all of the things that we want to do and be creative, we have to be and feel in a place of gratitude. So for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to have you guys make a list of everything that brings you gratitude. And feel free to comment in the chat box things that you're grateful for once you've completed it. But your goal is to complete your paper first. And I want you to just keep going for the full 5 minutes. And as hard as it is, I'm just going to keep saying it over and over and over, because coming from a place of gratitude is important. So right now, I'm going to have you start. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for right now in the present? Is it a person? Maybe it's a place. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's your big toe, and that's okay. What are you grateful for? Maybe you're grateful to God. Maybe you're grateful for a family member. Maybe you're grateful for yourself. Having gratitude doesn't have to be big. It can be your bestie, Amy. Maybe you're grateful for your current health. Maybe you're grateful for somebody who's inspired you this year. Maybe it's a podcast that every day when you woke up and listened to it, it made a difference for you. And when you are done with your gratitude list, comment gratitude done into the chat box. And if you're struggling to find something you're grateful for, feel free to come off mute or comment in the chat box, and we can work it out. Maybe you're grateful for the ability to pivot. Maybe you're grateful for the resilience that you've had this year. Maybe you're grateful for the vehicle you drive. Thank you for commenting. Gratitude done. What are you grateful for? We have one more minute before we move on. So keep tightening. What are you grateful for? What brings you happiness? What puts a smile on your face? Okay. If you're not done, you can always come back to this. I want to hear a few things. What are you grateful for? Comment one or two things in the chat box. What are you grateful for? I'm grateful for the resilience of healing this year. I am grateful for the opportunity to be able to provide for my family all by myself. Family, husband, dogs. I'm grateful for my doggies too. Health. I love that one. I love this. I'm grateful for grit. I'm grateful for the mountains. Ooh, Megan, those are good ones. Good ones. I'm grateful for the mountains that I can drive my Jeep through it. Grateful for family being strong when I can't be. Yes. Right? How many times have you guys had to let somebody else carry your belief for you until you had it yourself? Like that's something that's really big. I'm grateful for my family, given second chances at life, my home, my fur babies, my strength to overcome difficulties. I love that. Time with my grandma, healing. And the girls, yes, I got some of my Hawaii girls on here tonight. A warm home that's paid for in the next 12 months, debt free, except my truck payment, and increased my credit score. Oh my gosh, these are amazing. I love this. All right, second page. This one at the very top is going to be wins and victories of 2024. Wins and victories of 2024. Now, this one, we're going to have a little more than 5 minutes because sometimes it can be really hard to think of all of your accomplishments. But starting now, I want you to really start thinking about what wins and victories did you have in 2024, no matter how big or how small. Maybe it's that time that you were able to refrain of reacting, emotionally reacting to an anger situation. Maybe you were able to just cohesively stay in alignment and respond. Maybe one of your wins is that you were able to pivot when life seemed to be at its worst. I'm thankful that within the last year, I'm going to go a little past the last year, but I'm grateful for the opportunity to step into the coaching space. I'm grateful for the ability to be able to learn how to regulate my emotions. That's been a big one for me this year. That was a big win. Victory, I was able to get on stage at our company conference. I was pretty happy about that. A win, I was able to spend more time with God this year. I was really able to step in. That was a win. You know what? I am thankful I worked really hard not to yell. That's a win for me. That's a big one. It's a win that I haven't gotten sick. other than when I went to Missouri last, last couple weeks ago with Amy. My health has been very good to me. That's a win that I have. Keep going. Got 3 more minutes. What are some wins and victories that you have had in 2024? One of the wins that I had was I have become a better communicator with my family. We are really good at communicating when we are in a product or service industry. We're really good at communicating to other people. But sometimes the hardest part of communication is communicating with our own families, using our words. And I feel like that has been a victory for me this year, as I've been able to articulate my words and communication. When you are done with wins and victory, put victories done into the chat box. Yeah, this one was much harder, wasn't it, Sherry? It's really hard sometimes to come from a place of looking at ourselves, right? We're taught to serve other people, take care of our families, feed the dogs, mow the lawns, do all of the things. We're not necessarily taught about celebrating the little things that we have won or the victories we have achieved. And this is a really important one that we need to celebrate every single day. Good job. Three, two, one. I want to hear, what are some of your wins that you had in 2024? Comment in the chat box. What are some of the wins and victories that you were able to achieve in 2024? Finding pawTree. Grew stronger and got out of my comfort zone more. Carol, you sure did. I saw that all year long. Started pawTree, sold horse trailer, helped my sister. Anxiety got a little better. Oh, we should celebrate that one in a big way. Improved my knowledge of how to use social media for marketing, got my LLC established for the farm. Graduated Kristen Boss's mindset coaching. Sherry, welcome. Welcome, welcome. That one's a fun one. I love wins and victories. We all need to start celebrating more often. All right, are we ready to go to the next one? All right, this next one, I want you to take your piece of paper and I want you to draw a line right down the center of it. And at the very top on one side, I want you to put less of. What do you want less of in 2024? And on the other side, I want you to put more of. And this one may jumble your brain just a little bit. But I really want you to, really consider when you start to step into this dreaming space. I'm 100% a dreamer. When you start stepping into this dreaming space, I want you to really consider, what do you want less of in your life? Some of the things that we heard was anxiety got a little better. Do you want less anxiety? For me, I want less clutter. I want less clutter in my life. I have stacks of paper. You guys can see this. I have stacks of paper. My filing cabinet is right there. You think I can walk 5 feet backwards and go file it? No, I can't. But clutter is really not a good place for you to be when you're an entrepreneur in this space and you want to have conversations and you want to make money and move your business forward. It's important to declutter. Maybe you want less self-judgment. Maybe you want less procrastination. You've ever heard me say procrastination is a superpower, guys. I'm not proud of it. And it's something that I want less of. I want to be more productive, right? So instead of less procrastination, I want to be more productive. So take some time and think about some different areas in your life that you want less. I want I want less of just feeling like I'm just existing. I want to step back. I want more creativity in my life. I want to feel like I am moving towards my purpose, that I'm accomplishing my daily tasks in order to get me to where I want to go. Maybe control. Control is an area of my life that I need to let go of. Because we really want to let go of things that are holding us back. We want to let go of things and we want to be able to create and we want more love, less ego, more compassion, less judgment. You know, when you think about more of, it's kind of bringing, what do you want to bring into your life? The positive aspects, decisions, things of focus on bringing different things into your life. I want more Jeeping trips. I want to create more money, right? In order to have the things that make me happy. I want maybe a less negative money mindset where there's not enough of it. That's an area of improvement that everybody has the opportunity to move forward in. What do you want less of? And what do you want more of? What do you want to bring into this next year? This next trip around the sun, my friends. What do you want more of? This is the time to dream. This is the time to put something really extravagant down. The opportunity to open your heart. Maybe you want more of the feeling of being worthy. Maybe you want a larger team, more sales volume. And when you get done with this, comment comment what you want more of. What do you want more of? When you are done, comment what do you want more of in your life in 2025? There was a comment I heard years ago, and it was be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your heart on fire. And it really hit me because I had to start thinking, what do I want more of that's going to give me the opportunity to live more in my heart space and less in my head space? More peace and forgiveness, more self reliance, better money management. Love that. Travel with family, confidence. Those are good. More of. If I were to say, do you know how to find more peace and forgiveness? What would you say, Chris? Do you know how to do that? What if you said, I want more memories, Sherry? Do you know how to do that? I want more confidence in my life. Do you know how to do that? And I want you to consider these things because alongside of getting rid and letting go of what we want less of and bringing in the more is we have to take action on the things that we want more of. Yes, Chris, you're working on that. Yes, you're moving forward. And if you don't know how to do it, there's always somebody that does. How many of you guys have heard me say, man, if YouTube passed out degrees, I'd have a freaking doctorate? There is nothing YouTube hasn't shown me, including how to change a 35-inch tire, being 5 foot tall female. I want to have more confidence. Go to YouTube. How do I build more confidence? What are some things that would help, for me, more memories? I think of experiences, Sherry. Like I want to have more experiences. What experiences? I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to go to TikTok. I'm going to go figure it out and find out what experiences do I really want to have more of? Self-reliance. That's a big one. How can I become more self-reliant? How can I find more peace? Travel with family is something you want more of. What's a family trip goal that you can put down that will help you to get there? Listen more to my intuition, building better relationships. I love that. Ask yourself, how can I build better relationships? And what actions can I take in order to have that? Because more than anything, we can put down what we want more of. But if we aren't willing to work towards it or have something that says, man, I need to work on that. Maybe I need to set up a call with this person, or maybe I need to set up a call with Elka. Maybe I need to do this and reach out to my mentor or my, somebody who's got something that can help me. Maria, better leadership skills so that I can help others, more patience with difficult people and situations to trust myself more. I love this. Trust in self was a huge one for me this year. Behind the wheel of my Jeep. I know I talk about my Jeep a lot, but there's a lot of life lessons that I've learned this year. This is beautiful. All right, so this next one is, I guess, I don't know, it's Jeep related, but now we're going to refuel. I know that just as my Jeep needs to go in every 6 months and have a service done to it, I also want you to consider that you need self-service to stay up and running with what you do. We have to take care of ourselves, men and women alike. If we don't take care of ourselves, none of the work that we're doing tonight will even remotely work because we have to take care of it. So now I want you to take thirds, okay? I want you to split your paper into thirds. You can take a line, 2 lines, boom, boom. And in this first one, is I call it daily refueling. You can just put daily. How are you going to refuel your body, refuel your mind? What are you going to do every single day? What rituals, habits do you need to create to ensure that you feel the best and have the strength to follow through on everything that we create tonight? So daily, the middle one is weekly, and the last one is monthly. Now this one will have a little bit more time to do. But I want you guys to consider, what are some daily things that you need to build habits for? What are some weekly things and monthly? So some of the things that I put down in my daily is I am really consistent in giving my dogs those dang supplements every freaking day. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm so good at feeding time. I suck at doing it myself. So for me, one of the daily habits that I want to instill is to make sure that I take my vitamins and I drink more water, that I get up and I move my body. I work from home or I head into the office 2 to 3 times a week. I don't move as much as I should. So that's something that I want to do every single day. For me, write and burn. If you've ever heard me talk about write and burn, I learned it from my good friend and last business coach, Elisa. And I write every single day. I wake up and I write out all of the bad things that are in my head. And I take about 15 to 20 minutes and I write it all down. And then I either I release it, I rip it up and I throw it in the garbage, or I literally walk outside and I burn the shit. I write and burn. It is a daily practice for me. I am not the most happiest or positive person in the world when I wake up. It is a daily practice that I must do to ensure that my family gets taken care of, that my house stays in alignment. Because if I don't do this for myself, I get bottled up, I suppress things, and then I get angry, and it all comes out on the people that I love the most who are seeing me every day. So these are some daily practices that that are very important. So maybe you have some that you already do, put those down, and maybe you have some new ones that you want to do. Maybe weekly. What are some things that you can do on a weekly basis to feed your soul? Maybe that's go to church. I personally meditate, or I've got a book. Yeah, you can see my books right here. I think I've got 3 books going right now. It's something that I do every week. I take an hour to 2 hours of time. A lot of the times it's Sunday morning when I get my morning coffee while everybody's still asleep. I read. Maybe it's a special family time that you choose to do. I know Amy Johnson's on here. She does family dinners once a week, and it's really important, and she will not stray from that because it's that important for her to have on a weekly basis. Maybe it's a hot bath. That's self-care and refueling all in itself. I mean, there's been times that I haven't wanted to take a bath. I go into the bathroom. I will run the bath water and never get in it, but I do it because it's quiet and it gives me space. And I'm like, I do not want to get my hair wet, but I need time for myself because nobody bothers mom when I'm in the bathtub. True story. True story, right? I have a tankless water heater, my friends. I'm going to go take a 3-hour shower. I don't even care. Like, what are some things that you can do? Hopefully, you're doing that maybe on a daily basis and not weekly, but I really want you to consider doing something for yourself and monthly, something that you can do just for you. For me, over the last 6 months, every month, I make sure I have a Jeep trip planned. It's either a self-cation somewhere where I'm going to go set up my Jeep and I'm going to camp by a lake and fish by myself. It is by myself. Yes, that's what I do. Because I know that if I don't do it, I am no good to nobody. Nobody wants a feisty Elka. Nobody does. Some of you have seen me feisty. But maybe it's taking time for yourself. Maybe on a monthly basis, you know what, I'm going to go get my nails done, or I'm going to go to a conference or something along that line. And when you are done with this, I would love to hear, what are some things that you already do? What are some new things that you're going to do to self-service yourself? How are we going to give yourself self-love and implement some of these habits on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis? I would love to hear that in the chat box. As I was just sitting here, this thought came to me, like, we get in and we drive our vehicle, right? It's our choice. That vehicle doesn't drive itself. I mean, maybe you have a Tesla. Okay. I'm not that bougie. I drive a Jeep. Okay. But if you consider this, and I just was thinking about this while you guys are commenting, how you're going to refuel yourself is when I get behind that Jeep, it is up to me to drive it to where I need to go, whether it's the grocery store to get my lashes done, to go camping, whatever the case may be. You guys, you are in the driver's seat of your life. Everything that you're not doing, you're choosing. All of it. It's time to get back in the driver's seat, put your damn seatbelt on, friends. Make some significant changes so that you can get to where you want to go. Why? Because you're worth it. Because this is your life and your journey at the end of the day. And nobody gets to control that but you. So if you're hitting the brake, it's a choice. And if you're not refueling and getting a service done to your vehicle and putting gas in it, you ain't going anywhere. So I want to hear, how are you going to refuel yourself? Megan says she's going to garden, tell myself I love you in the mirror every morning. Yes, and add a high five. Megan, add a high five to that for me. High five your every time you guys walk into that bathroom and wash those hands, you better high five yourself. Telling you, we are incredible human beings, and we are once in a lifetime human beings. Let's not take that for granted. So when I see some more of these, I'll know that you guys are done with ideas. And I want to hear your ideas in case something, Leanne puts, Amy's like, I love that. I want to hear it. How are you going to refuel yourself? What are some things? I gave you some ideas. What are you going to start doing? Maybe you have others. And if you like what other people are putting into the chat box, take it on as your own. Meditate, speaking good things about myself out loud. No phone after 8 p.m. and an ice bath. Oh, bless your heart, Tasha. You know what? I will support you in the ice baths. I'll do a snow angel. Okay. But I ain't doing an ice bath. But it's a good one. Just doesn't work for me. Hike with my dog. I love that. What are some other things? I want to hear, guys. I see a lot of you guys down there typing. I want to see what you're going to promise yourself. This is not for me. This is for you. Playing with my grandkids, taking the dogs for a walk. I love that. You know what? Tuki's not in here. I should probably walk Tuki more. I'd rather throw him in the Jeep though. Put makeup on each day. Leave the house at least 3 times a week. Group. Oh, Amy, I love this. Have you ever heard me talk about getting dressed from head to toe every single day? I work from home. And every day I wake up, I wash my face, and I get dressed from head to toe because you bet your ass I'm going to do shit if I'm sitting in my pajamas and I'm braless. And I'm just being honest. It does not work for me. And so I wake up and I get dressed from head to toe. I've been wearing a jacket all day, for heaven's sakes. And they're like, my kids are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm dressed just in case I got to get up and go. It really will help your mindset to reprogram productivity when you're not in a place of comfort, right? So consider that. Maybe getting dressed from head to toe. That's a good one. Skincare routine twice daily. Jenny, huh, do you want to send me over your skincare routine? I could use one of the. I could totally use one. I don't have one, but I'm going to add that to I'm going to add that to mine. Hiking and camping with my dogs, read the Bible. Carol, those are beautiful ones. Connect with God, connect with spirit, source, whatever your option is. At the end of the day, that's going to help you to show up as your best self. It's super important to do that. Oh, I love these. I love these so much. So my next question, everybody should comment in the chat box. How are we feeling right now? Because the next step is we're going to dive into some goals. More downtime. How are you feeling? Are you overwhelmed? Do you feel good? Are you excited? Are you at peace? How are you feeling? I should probably post a picture of feelings so you guys could choose from them. All of the above, Maria. I know. This will hit your soul because you have to turn inward, right? And sometimes it's hard to turn inward because us as women specifically, I think we're all women on here, we have a tendency to look outward at everybody else. We don't have the opportunity to be able to turn inward. And I will tell you that part of the reason why I am where I am 2.5 years after my life quake is strictly because I knew that if I don't choose me, then I will be worthless to the people around me, including my team. I will be no good to anyone. And sometimes it hits your soul because you realize what you're not doing. But you got to give yourself grace and you got to give yourself gratitude. And there's no better start than to get started than right now going, I can implement this and I want this and I deserve this. Scared because while I know these are all things that I should do, also know that there is still grief and depression that's hormonal, chemical, that will keep me on the couch. Jenny, oh, my dear friend, I get it. Grief is a lifelong process. Grief doesn't ever go away. It is something that sticks with us. And what if depression is really compression? Now, I know that sounds weird, but I want you to think about this for a second. We have a tendency to be like, oh, I'm depressed. Seasonal depression is a big thing around here. My late husband, his birthday's on Christmas. We dread Christmas around here. I'm like, who wants to pack up and go to Hawaii for a month? We're going next year, right? And I hate that feeling of that day because I know what we used to do for 21 years while my kids were growing up. But what if part of what depression is that means we've compressed ourselves and we've suppressed ourselves so much because we're not doing the things that we want to. We're not forcing ourselves. We're not finding that personal motivation. And again, procrastination. It's a trauma response. Procrastination is a trauma response of the things that we just don't want to do because we'd rather sit on the couch upside down and drink wine through a straw. But also know that it's fucking normal, Jenny. And anybody else that's facing grief and hurt, man, this time of year sucks. And being in a room like this, surrounded by other women and people that says, you know what, I feel you. How many of you guys feel what Jenny does right now? Comment in the chat box. I'm seeing a lot. Yeah, it's a real thing and it weighs heavy on us. And our burdens, at the end of the day, the only thing we have is love. Judgments are the insecurities that other people hold on us. So here's the thing, Jenny. In my opinion, the best thing you could do for yourself is one thing every day. One thing. I'm not asking you to take everything that you've written down and like run with it, but I want you to find it in your heart and be like, you know what? Every day wake up and be like, what am I going to do? What one thing can I do today? And if you accomplish that one thing, then you've been successful and you celebrate that. Because when somebody says, how are you doing? You're like, fucking shitty. But here's the thing. They didn't ask you how you were feeling. They asked you how you were doing. What is your doing? Are your bills paid? Are you taking a shower? Are you grocery shopping? Yeah, I showered like 4 days ago. My hair is so gross, right? But I'm doing it. My bills are paid. My animals are fed. So my doing is good. And you can do good and feel shitty. And know that you're not being lazy. It's how grief and hurt and sorrow is manifesting itself every day. And when you recognize that and you have that awareness and you're like, okay, I'm going to sit with it. I'm going to sit with it and I'm going to feel it. I'm going to throw myself a pity party for 24 hours, but tomorrow I'm going to put my boots back on and I'm going to do the best that I can considering the circumstances I've been given. And we all get that. We feel that. Absolutely. And I appreciate your vulnerability, Jenny, because you're not the only one feeling that way. I happen to be teaching this, but if I was on the other side of it, I'd probably be curled up in a ball on the floor and I'd point the camera down and you guys watch me drink wine through a straw upside down. Like social media portrays this beautiful life, portrays perfection. It portrays all of this. It's a bunch of bullshit at the end of the day. We all have junk in our trunk. We all have things that drag us down. And it's normal, but we don't get to talk about it. We don't get to be like, you know what? It sucks. Tonight, you get to say that. Tonight, you get to say, you know what? It sucks. But I'm going to have awareness that this is how I feel. And I'm going to feel it. And a great technique that I learned a long time ago. I'm going to sit. Can you guys hear me okay if I move back? So how I've learned through Kristen Boss, and this is my own swing on Kristen Boss, so don't call me out on it. But one of the things that I learned through her was regulating my emotions. As a female, we wear our emotions on the sleeve. And I'm gonna squirrel for a second. Are we okay? Give me thumbs up if you're okay if I squirrel for a second. The hardest thing that we're going to have to do as people, especially women, we carry our emotions on our sleeves. And if we don't, we tuck them in. And then one thing can cause us to blow up on that person. And it had nothing to do with that person. It had to do with all of these suppressed emotions that have us in there. You feel that? So here's the thing. When I come from a place, when I start to step in and have anxiety or I start to have fear, right? Fear. When I start to have frustration or I'm just sad and I'm sorrow, here's what I do is I come in and I ask myself, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to feel this emotion? And then I actually give myself a time limit on what this looks like. For those of you that have never seen it, I don't have it up here right now. It's in my bedroom because I keep it handy. I actually printed, you can go to Google and you can print a list of emotions. First and foremost, you want to name your emotion. And if you can't name it, it's because your brain is so squirreled that you can't think of what it is. Like there's been times I've been in therapy and my therapist is like, here, name your emotion. Look at this list. And I'm like, well, disgusted feel good, but that's not how, like, that's not the word disgusted. That's how I feel. But I never would have thought about that in my head. But I have to name the emotion. You have to recognize what emotion it is in order to release it. And there's times when I say, how am I going to release this? I will take a shower. I will cry it out in the shower. I will angry write on a piece of paper and I will burn it. I will call a friend and I will say, do you have 8 minutes that I can just vent? And then you can go on about your life. But I know that I have to make that choice. I know that nobody's going to do it for me because nobody's coming to save us. It's up to us to save ourselves. So once I've named that emotion and I'm like, great, now I'm going to be able to go and release that. I'm going to name the emotion. Then I'm going to ask myself, where is this emotion in my body? Is it in my elbow? Is it in my knee? Is it in my hips? Is it in my abdomen? Is it in my chest? Does it make your neck hurt? Ask yourself, once you've figured out what that emotion is, ask yourself, where is that emotion? A lot of the times it's probably going to be in a random like person. We literally live bottled up with emotions that it actually can come out as diseases and cancers and other things. This is my belief. I'm only sharing my personal opinions, okay? And when you've done that, you have to say, okay, I'm going to feel this. You're going to either go in the shower, you can take a long drive and listen to music, you're going to write and burn, but you're going to focus intentionally on that emotion. And then you're going to tell yourself, I'm going to process this and I'm going to do it for X amount of time. And you're going to ask it to move through the body and you're going to push it out through your feet. You're going to say, you know what? I want this disgust to go away. I'm going to go cry it out in the shower. I'm going to go do this and I'm going to push it out through my feet, or I'm going to let the water wash over me and I'm going to wash it down the drain forever. And let me tell you, there's been times that I've done this and I've gotten out of the shower and I've looked at myself in the mirror and I've been like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Elka? What are you doing? You know better and you're aware of it and you're still doing it. These are the hardest and most painful moments that you will ever have in your life. And these are the moments that on the times that I can't hear myself, that I get on my knees and I ask God to speak up. Spirit in my case. I can't hear you and I don't want to listen. And without a doubt, I'm like, fine. And without a doubt, the next day, the next hour, the next minute, I actually found myself feeling better because I put a pin in how I was feeling. Most of us don't. We walk through life with our emotions, ignoring what's happening on our bodies. We're ignoring what we're feeling, and we have a tendency to self-sabotage. Well, I'm lazy. Well, I'm a piece of crap, and so and so is doing better than me. But the truth is that's not. When we accept ourselves and we accept how we feel and we choose to move those emotions, I promise you, things will shift for you. Your motivation will come back, your production will come back, your love will come back because your ego is taking over. When we allow our emotions to control us and we choose not to regulate them, That's 100% our ego. It's not coming from a place of love and acceptance inside. Does that make sense? If this is helpful, drop some heart emojis into the chat box. And I'm sorry for squirreling, but I feel like it's important for us to understand why sometimes we do the things that we do. That was a good one. So no, Jenny, I want you to take it. Everybody stop for a second. Shake it out. Shake it out. Come on. We're all going to look stupid on Zoom together because we love each other. Shake it out. Come on. If I can see your face, shake it out. All right. Take a big, deep breath. Push it out. Do it again. One more time. Hold it. Hold that breath in. Push it out. Okay. Feeling it? So this next section is really diving deep into what we want. I hate the word goal, but I always use it because it's a great marketing tool. But what I really want you to consider is, what do I want when we go through each of these sections? So this first section that I love to go through is personal. So I don't care how you choose to write this. We're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 areas of our lives. The first one is personal. And I want you guys to really think about setting some intentions and remind yourself that you're the driver of your life. What do you want in these areas of your personal life? And I'm going to read some examples. But what do you want in your personal area of your life? Maybe it's better time management. Heard Maria say leadership skills. Maybe you want to be a better networker. Maybe you want to build stronger relationships. I heard that one. We want more of, right? Go back to that list of what I want more of. What do you want in your personal area? Maybe you want more mindfulness. Having a full mind, being mindful is different than mindfulness. What new things do you want to learn? Maybe you want to be a homeowner. Maybe that's on a personal goal list. Maybe it's time for you to start calling a financial, somebody who's in the loan officer space and be like, what do I actually need to be a homeowner? For me, I want to be a better listener. I'm really good at talking. You guys know that. You hear me weekly. But I want to be a better listener for my kids and for my family. Maybe you want more emotional intelligence, kind of what we just talked about. Emotional intelligence is different than emotional reactivity. Maybe you want to learn to regulate your emotions on a personal level. All these areas are only going to help you to be a better human and live your best life while you're here. And you don't have to have 14 things. Just list a few areas of your personal life that you want to improve. And comment in the chat box, done, when you're done with personal. And those that are done, if you'll comment maybe 1 or 2 things that you want more of to help give other people some ideas, that would be wonderful. We're all about sharing. Sometimes our brains get stuck and we don't know what to think of. Bye, Janelle. Learn to cook healthier. That's a beautiful one. Financial freedom. Sherry, I want you to be specific. I want you to be specific. What area of financial, what is one thing that you can do to start that financial freedom? Financial freedom is broad, right? So, like for me, my financial freedom is going to be an investment. I'm going to start a CD for 3 months and watch my money grow. That is the beginning of potential financial um, freedom. Does that make sense? So think of something that you can do to get that started. My daughter says hi and she loves all of you guys. She's been over here doing it as well. Okay. Love these. Beautiful. So if you need some more ideas, go to the chat, check it out, take whatever resonates with you. So the next one, Sherry, this one's for you. We're going to go deep. Finance. So personal, if you want financial freedom, now is the time to be very specific in different areas that you want to increase your finances. Maybe you have some debt that needs to be paid off. And if you're already working on it, add it. This doesn't have to be things that you haven't started. This could be things that maybe you started last year and you want to bring back in. Maybe you want to save for retirement. Maybe you want to learn, maybe you want to meet with a financial advisor and learn how to make a monthly budget. Maybe you want to go down to your bank and see a lot of credit unions actually offer um, classes and monthly classes on how to manage your bills and pay them. I was 42, I was 39 when my life quake happened. I didn't have a freaking clue how to do a budget. I was desperate to figure out how I was going to make this work. And I went down to my bank. I'm like, what do you have? And they were like, oh, we have a class on Tuesday night at 7. I'm like, I'm there. I went. I was like, oh shit, I'm 42. I felt stupid asking because I assumed that people would assume that at 39 years old, I knew how to do this, but I didn't. Maybe you want vet funds. Maybe you need to start a vet fund. Maybe that's important to you. Maybe you want to start donating to some charitable causes. That was on mine last year. This year, I'm doing Wreaths Across America for veterans. And I'm excited to be able to give back and do that. You've heard of that, Carol? Yeah. Like I wanted to start giving back. And I was like, what different things can I do? And that was one that I felt really passionate about because of my grandpa. So I'm doing Wreaths Across America. I start tomorrow at noon and we go through the weekend placing wreaths and pennies on thousands of veterans headstones. Like what that to me, I want to be able to give back financially. I love that, Carol. Maybe rental properties, maybe college funds, maybe it's increase your paychecks. Maybe you just want to save some money. Maybe it's $100. Maybe it's $100 a month. And if you can't save it from the money that you're not making, think about it. There are always ways to create the money. I got shit I could sell all day long if I wanted to put $100 away a month. But do I want to take the time to sell it? No. But if I wanted to, I could. So it's all a choice. So think about that. And if you're done with finance, comment done. Yeah, Jenny, it is. It's heartbreaking. And comment a few things in your finance area that you want to do that maybe I didn't list to give others an opportunity to, yeah, get into a tiny home. I love tiny homes. I want to build one on my property down in central Utah. Get to 4K a paycheck. Jenny, that's a beautiful one. Replace my husband's income and bring home full time. Whoo, Tasha, I like that. You're on your way, sister. All right, this next one. Whoo, you got to think about yourself for a second. This is health. What are some things? Simple. Let's not overcomplicate it, right? Like if you don't want to go out and run a 10K, friends, don't fucking do it. Like let's keep shit simple so we actually feel successful. Maybe you want to sleep better. Maybe you want to drink more water. I said that earlier. Maybe you want to have a feel good naked year. I just want to feel comfortable in my skin. I think I got my associate's degree in YouTube that year. Maybe health. To me, stress management belongs in health, my friends. You will get sick if you don't figure out how to manage and feel stress and anxiety. It can be simple as better mental health. Who do I need to surround myself? Who do I need to surround myself with in order to improve my mental health status? What does that look like? Maybe it's like for me in the health department, it's not always like take your greens and take your vitamins. Because how we are here in our minds is how our bodies will continue to show up for us, is what I've personally learned. So like for me, last year, one of my goals that I was successfully accomplished was I wanted a community of friends locally. I needed friends away from my freaking house. And I have business groups, I have my Jeep groups, I have my spiritual groups, I have different groups of people. Now, I couldn't put all you guys, all them into the same room, but they all know a different part of Elka, and it made me feel important. So maybe part of your health goal is improving the mental health, improving your lifestyle so that you can get to the point where your body starts to show up for you naturally, right? So I want you to just consider some different things. Again, more movement. Elka, move your freaking body. I have to yell at myself daily for that. I'm your laziest, funnest friend you'll ever have, though, I'll tell you what. Get me a week on a conference. Lots of fun. So comment in the chat box when you're done with health and share a few things that maybe I didn't list so that others can have some ideas. Ooh, journal. Absolutely. Better sleep. All right. So the next one we're going to go into is relationships. I started this one about 4 years ago. I realized that part of one of the journey that I'm on is people. Now, not all of us like people, and that's okay. You don't have to, but I invite you, for the people that you do like, to build stronger relationships with them. Now, I've learned the hard way that if you don't give somebody what you or they need and you lose them tomorrow, you will regret and have guilt and shame. Something we're not taught as children. If you have been taught this, please let me know where and how. And if you have a book on it, I want to hear about it. We are taught to go to school. We are taught to pay taxes. We are taught to work. We are taught to build debt. We are not taught how to manage our emotions or grief or people. So when they do leave us, and it is one thing, every single human, black, white, you name it, we cannot run away from it. So for me, relationships is an important part of my goal. If my brother passed away tomorrow, could I confidently send him off to the other side and know that I had the relationship I wanted him with him. This may not be an important area for you. It's totally okay. This is an important one, and I'm explaining it to you so that if it resonates and you're like, yes, I feel like I want to do this, then I want you to implement it. Because for me, I will never lose somebody in my life that is important to me in my personal circle and feel the amount of guilt and shame that I have through past grandparents, friends, family members. They will know how much I fucking love them. So think about relationships. Maybe it's trust. Maybe it's forgiveness. Maybe you need to be a better communicator in your relationship department. Maybe it's I promise I'm going to put a note in my calendar. And this is more of an action step, but I'm going to put a note in my calendar to text 5 friends a week, 5 family members, 5 people a week. I love you. How are you doing? What's your weather report? It's a great one. If you want to know, where somebody's emotions are at, be like, hey, send me your top emoji on how you're feeling right now. You will know in a second. You will know in a heartbeat. Start showing up for people the way that you want them to show up for you. Relationships is a big one. Maybe a date night is something that's important to you. Maybe you want to surprise more people and show up at their work with a cup of coffee. That builds stronger relationships. Maybe physical intimacy is important to you. Maybe you just need a thought partner. Who in your space could be a good thought partner? It's a great way to strengthen a relationship. Hey, Melissa, I need 10 minutes. Can you be my thought partner? I guarantee you our relationship will build and grow from there. Does that make sense? I'm just throwing out some other things in that department of relationships. And when you're done with relationships, comment done. And if any of these areas don't serve you, like, please know that there's 0 judgments. Like, it doesn't fit into your awareness right now with where you're at in life, like, totally okay. These are just personal areas that I do, that I have focused on, that are important to me. Bye, Chris. And anybody that needs to go totally can. If you want to stick around, we'd love to keep you. How careful we'd be if we knew which goodbye would be our last. Amen. So relationships is a big part of my goal. I work really hard to make people feel like I want them to feel. Hugging is on my list. Squeeze the shit out of people. It's on my list. Like, if you've ever hugged me, I am intentional about it. You will feel how I feel by the time that hug gets over. Next one is, if you're done with that, just perfect. Thanks, Melissa. I try. Listen, it's going to be on my headstone. Best hugs ever. So this next one is spiritual, right? God, source, goddess, God, whatever you choose to lay out in this space. I would love for you to take some time and focus on some spiritual things that you want to have more of. Maybe you want to build, I have a daily gratitude journal, and every night before I go to bed, I do my journal. I just post a picture, post a little thought. It gives me prompts if I need them. Love gratitude. Bye, Sherry. Fasting, read the Bible, spend more time in nature, meditation, reflection. Maybe you need to be still and listen. Breath work, some different areas in your life to strengthen that department. And when you're done with that section, comment done. And if there's any additional ones that you feel you'd like to share, we'd love to hear them in the chat. All right. This next section is business. And I expect nobody to put in this box, I want more money. Okay. Do not put, I want more money, because the actions that you choose to put in your business section will create the money that you need. We need to be very specific. Okay. So you can put something like, I want to increase my paycheck by, like, by doing this or by doing that, but I don't want you to just have a blank statement that says, I want to make more money, right? This is, how are you going to create the money? Somebody once said, money's the root of all evil. Money doesn't create happiness. I beg to differ. The money I make 100% supports the things that make me happy. Maybe it's money mindset in this area. Maybe you need to heal your relationship with money. I had to do that in like 2019. I had to heal my relationship. So, what are some things that you can improve in the business area of your expertise? What do you do? Right? Or maybe you have a hobby or a side hustle, or maybe you want to create something this next year. Maybe it's continue. I heard expand your comfort zone. I love, maybe, get out of your comfort zone. I heard that a few times tonight. That should be on there. Improve productivity. And in order to improve productivity, you've got to improve your mental health, right? You've got to figure out why we do the things we do. Maybe it's attend vendor events, networking, improve my customer care, people care, right? Team care, people care. Maybe it's have more conversations. It's how am I going to get my business name out there? How can I create an event? If you have a brick and mortar, right? There are some people that have brick and mortars. Like, what can you do to expand or give back in the business area to have more exposure for you? Not exposing the business, exposing you that supports the business. Does that make sense? And when you're done with this section, comment done. Then we have one more after this. Perfect. I'm seeing some dones come through. So the last area that's important to me is hobbies. Does that sound weird? Hobbies. We all need a freaking life, sisters. We need something for us. Hobbies is something that is a big area of my life. Yes, Jeeping is at the top of my list. If you want to go buy a Jeep this year, put it down. I'll take you Jeeping with me, Tasha. I see you. So, what are some things that you really enjoy in your life? Cooking, gardening, creative writing. I love to write. Reading, hiking, meditating. Maybe it's photography. Maybe you're like, you know what? I really love flowers and I'm going to make it a goal that I'm going to take photographs of 50 flowers this year. And I'm going to have them printed and I'm going to hang them on my wall. A hobby can be community service and giving back. Melissa, I have a Jeep and already. Hey, we can get you there. I'll talk to your husband, Melissa. Dancing. Guys, I want to learn how to dance. I want to learn how to swing dance. Megan, who's on the call, we've been out line dancing before. Like, I want dancing to be a part of the movement that I do. Like, I don't like to just exercise, drag me into the gym. No, but I want more dancing in my life. I want it to become a hobby, even if I have to like buy one of those, some kind of thing that teaches me how to line dance in my front room, or a swing dance. Like I'll swing dance with Tuki. Like I got to do it. Be creative. Maybe it's visiting, spending more time in nature. And maybe while you're out in nature, you are do your creative writing, or maybe you knit or crochet, or you want to start scrapbooking, go scrapbook in nature. Like this is really a hobbies that we can do. Fly fishing was one that I had 2 years ago, and it has become one of my most favorite hobbies that I do now with myself. Like I'm just like I'm going fly fishing, paddle boarding. That was a summer hobby. I went out paddle boarding a lot. Maybe you want to pick up maybe you want to be a house plant mom. Maybe you want to learn about house plants. That can be a hobby. And if you have some hobbies that are maybe not Elka hobbies, we would love to hear them in the chat box. Maybe somebody else is looking for something new. Baking, I love that one. Crafting. Dog shows. Maybe I need to go to more dog shows. I don't think Tuki would make it in the dog show ring. This is my chunky monkey. Shark diving. Oh, you can keep that one to yourself, Megan, but I love you. No way you're getting me in there. In the pool. I will dive for fake sharks in a pool with you. But I love this. And when you guys are done with that one, comment done. I want you guys to just really consider that you can't do all of these things at one time, but you can accomplish all of them over a period of time. And what you don't get done over the next year, you're going to continuously move it to the following year. It doesn't mean that you're a failure because you didn't do anything. It just means that it's time to continue to move forward and cause that shift in your life. It's about crossing stuff off, feeling accomplished as you go, and something might pop up over the next year and you're like, man, I did that goal thing with Elka and I found this new hobby. I'm going to be a beekeeper, and you're going to go add being a beekeeper to your hobby list. Like I'm cool with that. Maybe crafting sounds really fun. Maybe shark diving sounds really fun right now, but in 6 months you're like, never mind. Right? It's okay to shift. So now do me a favor, in each one of these sections, grab your pencil, and I want you to go circle one thing in each section that really stands out to you. Circle one of them in each section that stands out to you. Some of you might have two. You can circle two, but I want at least one in each area: financing, hobbies, business, spiritual, health, personal, relationships. Circle one thing that is like really just pops out to you. And when you're done with that, comment done in the chat box. Yes. Sorry, I was talking to my son. Yeah, I'm on the phone still. Oh.
I said, are you off the phone? And you
Oh,
said yes.
no, I said I'm still on. Sorry. I'll be done in a few minutes.
Can they hear you?
Yeah, they can hear me.
Oh, sorry, guys.
It's my son. He says hi.
I just wanted to show him.
He bought Christmas
gifts.
presents for his girlfriend. He wants to show me.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody circle at least one thing in each section. Okay. So now this is the most important thing of all the shit that you guys just went through. The hurt, the heart, the whole. You guys have done a lot. Can we tap ourselves on the back? A lot of you stayed on with me. Like this is stuff that's I am telling you, I would never ask you to do something I wasn't willing to do for myself, because this is so important in order for me to continue to make this shift moving forward. Each one of those things that you circled. So for example, one of the things that I'm currently working on is an emotional intelligence. Okay. It's something that I've started working on for the last couple of years, but I have some areas of my life that I can improve on in the emotional intelligence area. If you don't know what that is, feel free to go Google it. You can learn a little bit more about me. I want you to pick those one things that you circled. I want you to write an action step. What are you going to do daily, weekly, or monthly to move towards this? So emotional intelligence for me, I have to go seek help to get through some of my stuff. So for me, I'm going to go monthly to start working and continuing my growth in my emotional intelligence help. It's something I cannot do myself. And I'm just sharing a few things for me. So another one is that I want to do is I want to start some more investment funds and CD accounts. So my action step is going to be meeting with my financial advisor to learn more about next steps and how much money I need to start a new investment. Okay. So maybe health for me, move my body more. What is one action step that I can do every day to move my body more? Yeah, exactly, Maria. We have a dance party at 7 a.m., ladies, every day. You want to do that? Just kidding. All of you were like, no, I do it. And once you've put one action step in each of those areas, comment done. Excuse me. I'll get a few more dones. We'll wrap this up. Perfect. So I'm just going to read some final thoughts that I have to help tie up this evening. And first, I appreciate all of you guys taking the last hour and a half to come hang out with me. Usually it takes me a long time to lay these out. It's not something that you can whip up. It's something that you have to create. But I want you to remember that visions are all about what you want, but also about becoming who you want to be. A clear vision has the power to bring what's most important to the surface of your schedule and your lifestyle. A clear vision is easy to weed out of your life, those things that stand in the way of achieving what matters most. Vision empowers you to move purposefully and predetermined direction. And once you have clarified your vision or visions, many decisions are already made. Without vision, good things will hinder you from achieving the best things. This was written by, his name is Andy Stanley. And I just want you guys to consider that what you've done today is already achieved so much. We've had gratitude, we've let go of, we've brought more in, and we've been creators. And I appreciate each and every one of you coming and hanging on tonight and doing this alongside me. And I just want you to know how much I love each and every one of you. I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and I will continue to show up for you every single day when given the opportunity. And you guys always know just a Facebook or a phone call message away if you need me. But before you leave this call, I would love for you to comment, you know, one thing that hit you tonight, one thing that you loved about the call. I would love to hear your final thoughts of how you're feeling and what process you're going through in order to help you to achieve your 2025. And once you've commented, you can exit if you feel called to. I love it, Carol. I know the changes I need to make. I love that, Carla. Don't hold on to what's not serving me. Pivot. I love that. Setting a time and limit to allow feelings to be felt and not beating myself up. There is a great grief book if that's what you're facing. It's called The Irreverent Grief Guide, and it has been my survival guide. I've been in the rut last few months, and I've let so many things slide in my life the last 6 months. So excited for this reset. Yes, too. I feel like I have a direction. 3-foot rule. Mary, I love that one. I'm going to hold you to that because I'm going to see you here soon. When we go to Legacy, I'm going to expect you to use that 3-foot rule. I'm going to hold you accountable to that one. Title and author, Irreverent Grief Guide. Author, I don't know. But it's on Amazon and it's a cute, it's a very simple, it's the first 3 months of, been a survival guide to me. That's been really helpful. Look forward, not backwards. Yeah, go as far as your headlights take you. Because that's the best thing that we can do for ourselves. Yes, don't let others hold you back from moving forward. I love that. You are who you surround yourself with. All right, guys, I love you. I'm looking forward to it. Moving forward with you guys in the new year, because that'll be the next time that I see you. I love you. Have a great evening. Bye.